Hello, everybody. This is the Sunday video for Math 213 on November 29th, 2020. Yes, November is almost over, and so is the semester. You have 2 more weeks to go, and we are getting ready for the final exam, as you know. And of course, you have one more test this coming week before the final. So let's get started and see what's going on in your calculus class. So I hope you've had a good Thanksgiving. And oh yeah, so I don't know, every Thanksgiving I have this um, question that I ask my students, and that is, what is the quotient of the square root of -1 and 8? So what do you get when you divide the square root of -1, otherwise known as the imaginary unit, by number 8? And the answer is, yes, I/8. And I hope you also did some of the eating for Thanksgiving. Sorry about that. All right, let's take a look at what's happening. What do you have left in the semester? So this past week, you have studied this past week, you did Stokes' theorem and the divergence theorem, the last 2 sections of the course, right? And then I have on this chapter 6 module, we have a little review for vector calculus at a glance, which is a part of your section 6.8. And I have an answer key here, and this will help you review all your major theorems on chapter 6, vector calculus chapter. All right, and then you have practice test number 5 here. I have a key as well as the videos to go over all of those problems on practice test. And as always, I try to make my practice test similar to your actual test. So I highly recommend that you take this practice test and review these problems very carefully before you take your test number 5 on December 2nd. So December 2nd is this Wednesday, and you will have that day in the morning between 8 and 11 in the morning to take that test. That's test number 5 on chapter 6. All of the chapter 6 sections 1 through 8 will be on the test. Your homework is also due on that day. Probably you should turn this in before you take your test, and that's worth 24 points. All right, so make sure you take the practice test and then the final and the test number 5 on the morning of this Wednesday, the 2nd of December. It sounds almost funny to say December, but here we are. All right. And after that, you basically have your practice final. And so this is where you see I have an extra module for the final exam. And so you have the checklist for the test and the practice for the final. And I have the answer keys, and then you have the final exam and show your work. So this is it. This is all you have left to do after this week. So this week's assignment basically is for you to finish chapter 6, take that test number 5, and submit show your work for test number 5, of course, and then start to get ready for your final exam. All right. So the final exam is exactly a week after your test number 5. And that's about it. Your study groups are available. I hope you will be able to, study with the people in your study group, and you can ask each other questions. You can help each other. My office hours. So one thing I should mention here is that I'm having to attend many these end of semester committee meetings and other meetings. So my office hours will be limited to 1 to 2. Okay, so Monday and Thursday, I will be available on my Zoom, on my Zoom session from 1 to 2 p.m. on this Monday and Thursday. And so this is it for this Sunday. I hope you will just continue to work diligently. The end is right there around the corner, and so let's finish this semester in a great way. Okay, and so keep up the good work. And if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me. All right, take care. Have a great week. Have a good test on Wednesday.